Hello and welcome to the Survive Season 2 Galaxy Curse reunion. We're going to first bring out our jury. This is the final Tribal Council. Welcome, jury.
Yeah, let girls are dresses.
Oh, girls in dresses sit on the short stuff.
Yeah.
Long, tall stuff.
Thank you.
Would like to have a job after that.
Okay. Come on in, Space Cadets! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final Tribal Council. How this will work is now this is in the hands of the jury. And when we go to vote, jury, you are going to be writing down the person's name that you would like to see win Survive Galaxy Curse. And these three contestants over here will be fighting to win. And now, what will you be winning? You know, I never told you what the prize for this game is. The winner will win $2,000 in cash. It is a gift, so you don't have to pay taxes.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So how this format will work, each one of you will get a chance to have a opening speech, and then it'll go off to our jury, where each of them will get the chance to ask a question to you all, and you all three will get the chance to answer. They only get one question per person. And then after that, you'll get a closing speech, and then you can go vote. Are we ready? Okay. Who would like to go first? Angela.
I was gonna say
You're going first.
I'll go first.
And then next time, Jeff will go first in the closing.
This is gonna be very, very short and sweet. I just want to say that this has been the most amazing game that I have ever played. I've played before. Pre-jury and jury, and these two sitting beside me, I've gotten more out of this than I ever thought that I would. I was very close to not playing this game because of life stuff at home, and I'm so freaking thankful that I did. I didn't get a chance to play or interact with a lot of you on jury, so I guess I'm just going to ask that you listen to my answers of questions. Please don't discount any of us. I think we all played very different games, very respectful games in their own way. I did have different relationships and was definitely closer to some of you over there, but I am just hoping that you listen to every word, and I will be brutally honest with every single one of you with your questions, and I will hold nothing back, and I appreciate every single one of you.
James.
Before I get started, I want to personally say thank you to all of the cast, jury, pre-jury, to all of the production, all of the viewers. This experience has been life-changing, to put it simply. Like Angela, I also was going through a lot of stuff at home, and I almost didn't come here, and I almost left the game a few times. But something about seeing the Survive is casting and knowing that Nikki, this beautiful soul, is behind it, I felt like this is where I was supposed to be at this point in my life, and I wouldn't trade this experience for the world. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to say that I do understand that I did play a bit of a sneaky game, and I am here to atone for any of the sins that you may think that I have incurred upon you. I just hope that at the end of the day that you understand that nothing was ever personal. It has nothing to do with your character. It is not a reflection of how I feel about you as human beings. It was simply because I was trying to set myself up for the most possible successful endgame that I could, and I feel like I did that. I know that I hurt some feelings, and I hope that vote for me or don't vote for me afterwards, we all understand that it's a game, and I did everything that I could to get myself here, and I genuinely feel like I got myself here the only way that I knew how. I hope that you ask me direct, blunt questions. Ask me the hard stuff. I have the answers for it. I will explain to you the thoughts that were going through my head at every single point in the game that has anything to do with any of your vote outs. I voted you out of this game because I was afraid of you, because I thought that you could beat me, because you stood in the way of me in the finish line, and I wanted to get here. I respect everyone that's been a part of this, and I so look forward to everything that comes after. Best of luck to both of you. Thank you.
Jeff.
There is no word or phrase that can be found in any holy book or textbook that could explain the gratitude I have for everybody here on production, pre-jury, and those who have just came to watch. I never thought that I would see myself here, and I shared my former experiences with you all, and I had to leave those in the past when I decided to come play this one. I needed to double down and really focus on the strengths, skills, and talents that I inherently have and that I have chosen within my career, and that is ultimately using my words to connect with complete strangers. And I feel like I did that, and sometimes they were a little bit manipulative, and if there is any feeling of any sort of type of way that I've done you wrong, then I apologize. I'm prepared to answer your questions genuinely and authentically, and I'm ready for the best finish, and whoever wins this truly, truly deserves this.
Okay, we're gonna move on over to our beautiful jury over here, and we will start with Jorge.
Oh, we actually
Wait,
came
wait,
out.
wait.
Yeah, we have our
Sorry, love.
Take it away.
I'm going to kick us off. First of all, I would like to say on behalf of all of the jury, congratulations. You all worked so hard to be here. You must be so proud, and you should be so proud. One blanket statement that we wanted to just say is we're really excited to hear about your gameplays, and we really want your honest, concise, because we're waiting for that tequila, and authentic answers. So just give it to us and we will accept it with open arms. I'm going to start off with what I think is more of a lighthearted question. We know this game is also about jury management, and we're curious what your perception of your gameplay is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and then I'm going to go through each jury member and say their name, and I want you to raise your hand if at this point you think that you have their vote, just so we can know going into this. So I'm going to go ahead and start. If you would like to close your eyes, I'm just going to go in the order in which they were removed from the game. Okay, first, Jorge. Who was next? Was it Ryan? Is Josh. Alex? Ryan. Amanda? Danny? Lena? Meredith. Okay, thank you so much. Next up, we will have Ryan.
Congrats, y'all. It's been truly amazing playing with you. And I appreciate connecting with some of you. Some I have not connected as much, and that is what my question is about. And the question is, I've seen all of your games from a distance. What is a move that I did not see that helped you find your way here and not us?
I'll be upfront. I knew these two coming into the game. And I think it should, and while that does seem like an advantage, I still had to play without them in the beginning of the game. So I think that should attest to my game as well. A move that you didn't see was me finding the idol. The only person that saw me find the idol was James, but that's because he was attached to me at the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I will say a move that you did not see from me was because you had previously been voted out, but I was made aware that Amanda was dead on my heels and ready to line up the shot against me, thanks to information from both Angela and Jeff. And so when I woke up on, I think it was the final 7, while I wanted to target Amanda, I woke up that day and I realized that the only person that I felt like was a deadlock on winning this game was Danny. And I felt that Danny had an idol that they would play at Final 5, and I was told that Danny was amazing at Fire and would get Final 4, so I knew that if Danny made it past Final 6, they would probably be sitting in the end of this game, and due to curated, carefully placed relationships, would probably win this game. So while the plan initially in round 7 was to vote Danny out, Danny ended up winning the immunity, so at that point in time, I deadlocked people as well as I could. I'm not going to say that it was only my decision because power comes here in numbers. No singular person can get anything done. But I lined up a target on Amanda secretly, despite the fact that we were from the same original tribe and I have a ton of love for her. But for me, if you say my name in this game, I have to vote you out. And Amanda was saying my name, so I did my absolute best to get her out.
Thank you, James.
I don't know if it's necessarily a move, but I think something that I put a lot of stock into this game was my relationship with Meredith and with Jeff. I was definitely on the outs. I think I am the only person sitting here that was severely swap screwed and lived through it. Those 3-2 splits on a 5-person tribe were very, very hard. My number 1 ally was Savannah, who got voted out. Unfortunately, she was on the same tribe as I, and she got the bullet instead of me. But that's when I started putting a lot more stock in Jeff and Meredith to help me through this game, deeper into this game, than just surviving that little tribe. And that relationship with both of them got me here.
I need to add on to that question because this one involves you individually.
Your time. You guys answer whatever you want.
The holding up the sandbag ones. While I was definitely in a lot of pain, yes, I did drop, and partially that was to eliminate Savannah and also put you as a bigger threat to the eyes of everybody else, say that we both made it to merge.
Appreciate that. Thank you all for your honesty. I appreciate it. Fight hard and good luck.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey guys, good job. James, I thought it was an interesting choice that you chose to take Jeff to the end and put me in Fire against Angela, especially never having talked to me about my experience with Fire. Can you explain your rationale on that a little bit?
It was a 2-part rationale in my mind. On one hand, I did know that you had a final 3 with Jeff and Angela that I was obviously not a part of. On the other hand, after the previous tribal council where, you didn't indicate your vote to me, I kind of felt like, okay, she's probably not going to take me at 4. And so I feel like replaying it in my head, I should have spoken to you, but what I felt like was the biggest sign of respect was not filling you with false hope that I was going to take you, was letting you know as soon as we got back that I wasn't going to give you as much time as you possibly could to prepare. I didn't want you to have these thoughts that maybe he's going to take me and then you get blindsided and you're thrown off your game trying to make Fire. I tried to do it in a respectful manner, but I can understand how, I took Jeff aside to tell him that I was taking him, and I took Angela aside to tell her that I loved her, but she was the biggest threat and I couldn't take her, and I didn't take time to take you aside. And so I apologize for that, but I felt like what was respectful was to give you as much time to prepare for it.
And my question is less, I'm not hurt by the choice, and I didn't want you to talk to me for that reason. I'm just curious why you would choose to put me into fire rather than Jeff, who is much better at fire, who would stand a better chance at taking out Angela.
I chose not to put Jeff in fire because when we found that idol together, I felt that it bonded us.
I found
was
it, you were just attached to me.
Oh yes, when Jeff found the idol and I was attached to him, I felt that had bonded us together. Jeff told me that he was going to take me, and I genuinely believed him. I also just felt like had you won, you wouldn't have taken me. So it was kind of like I knew I had to put Angela in. I knew the only time I could ever take a swing at her was in 4. Jeff told me that you were very good at fire, and Angela said that she was the worst of everyone in fire. So that's ultimately why I made that decision.
Okay.
James, I didn't say that.
Okay, maybe he didn't say that, and I think that he said that.
Okay. He didn't say that.
Congratulations, all 3 of you, on games well played and on making it to the end. My question is, I spent more time with some of you than others, as you've kind of alluded to. What do you feel, and I'd like to know from each of you, was your biggest misstep in this game, and what did you do to recover from said misstep going forward?
Can I answer this one first? I feel like my biggest misstep was not trusting Danny more. I think Danny was the biggest threat in the end of this game. I do. But I believe that Danny would have been loyal to me specifically for a couple more rounds, and I should have believed that. And instead, I let the threat cloud kind of take over my judgment on that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to learn from it because Danny was out of the game. I was surprised. I felt like throughout this game, I did have my hand on the pulse of this game most of the time. Certainly not all the time. And one of the times was that vote, because I thought for sure it was my name coming up, not Lena's. And I was shocked. And in that moment, I think I felt disappointed in myself that I didn't go with my gut in trusting Danny for a couple more rounds.
I think maybe leading people on a little bit more than I should have. I didn't lie blatantly to anybody's face, but I did lie by omission, which includes not telling the entire story. Other than that, this may be a moment of self-unawareness, but I don't think I had a ton of missteps because in the end, this is the exact 3 that I wanted sitting here. I knew that at the beginning of the merge, and that's why when we had the Jovian circle, I tossed out G's name to get the ball rolling to keep both James's name and Angela's name out of the Jovian players' mouths. I knew more people did want to go for Jorge next, but if people wanted to fight on it, I wanted to use possibly any agency that I had to make sure that it was Jorge next, so that I could ultimately both utilize James and Angela to get the ball rolling on the next eliminations that would follow.
I would say that I had a lot of missteps in this game. There were several times that I fell flat on my face. I don't think that I was by any means in control of everything. I don't think that I played the perfect game. But what I do know is that when I fell flat on my face, I picked myself up, dusted my knees off, and got back to work and figured out a plan. I think my 2 biggest missteps in this game came at the split vote between Lena and Ryan, where I was so aggressive in that, and it hit on a personal level. I feel like Lena and I obviously repaired all of that stuff, and we will be great friends after this, but in that moment, my intent did not match my impact. I also think that it's tied with my second biggest mistake was my level of paranoia at the final 5. I should have trusted in Jeff, because Jeff and, I'm sorry, lost my train of thought. I should have trusted in Jeff, because Jeff and Meredith's connection was very strong. He had told me that he had, promised her on his son that he would take her here, and
I did not say that.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Okay, I thought
God.
you did. I'm sorry. Like, it's a long game. It's been 7 days. I'm sorry. I was told that Jeff was going to bring Meredith to the end by Jeff. And so I should have trusted more in that moment. I was just very thrown off that Meredith didn't like give me any sort of inclination in which way that she voted. So I let the level of paranoia get to me instead of trusting in the allies that I had surrounding me, and that's why I made myself look like an ass at the final 5.
Also just now.
I'm sorry, I thought that you had said that to me, Jeff. It's a 7-day game.
I
Like,
said
my
that
brain
to
is
you.
not perfect.
I said that to you. I said that 2 times in this game. I said that to you when it came to going to the end together. And I only said that because I knew that I was telling the truth. I said that to Ryan when it was right before G. And you had a little bit of paranoia going on. And you were like, I know something different is going down. I see it all over your face. I'm going to go look for an idol. And so I had to calm you down, and I thought the only thing that could possibly work with you right now is something so sentimental to me that I would only use it if I knew I was telling the truth, and I was.
For the record, I wasn't meaning to use that as like a zinger of like, oh, he didn't want Meredith really to be here. I really thought that's what he had said to me, and I was probably mistaken. It's 7 days of being out here. My brain is trying to remember everything in this moment. I did not mean to
Me
weaponize
too, but I
that
would
or use
never,
that
ever,
disrespectfully.
ever do something like that.
Can you confirm, though, that you did tell me at some point in time that you did swear on your son for something?
For
and
you.
I just
And you.
mixed
That's
it up.
it.
It was not meant to be.
For you,
Okay.
going to the end with you.
My mistake.
That was it.
My mistake.
Meredith's name wasn't even in that
My
conversation.
mistake.
Hey guys, it's exciting to see you all there. I think I got to connect with all of you on a personal level at some point. As someone who did feel like they were at the bottom a lot of the time, can you each explain to me a time that you felt you had to truly survive? You weren't moving with the majority, it wasn't somebody else sweeping you in, but a time that you really had to fight from the bottom to stay in the game.
No, because I was never truly on the bottom.
Okay?
I didn't have the luxury of walking into the merge with majority, so I started out at the bottom, and I hit the ground running. My strategy as soon as we got to the merge was similar to Gabler, hiding in plain sight, knowing that people have this perception of me that I am a threat, but I was going to do everything that I could, so I went to Jeff, I went to Ryan, I went to Danny, and I went to Meredith, and I said, when this game shakes up, and when people start turning on each other, I think I'm a big player that can be in front of you, and I am somebody that's willing to work with you. I went to people deliberately that were on different sides of the majority alliance, in my opinion, from my perception, and I did that so that when you guys were doing your can we vote this person or can we vote that person, the only people that were voting for me were Alex and Josh, because I created new relationships with people because I knew we were in the minority and that I was going to be in trouble.
Okay. And Angela?
I would say I spent a very large chunk of this game on the bottom. I have never really had that experience before. I've played 2 other live games, and I was very low for a long time from the mix-up with the 3-5 split tribes. I was fighting my ass off to stay here after Savannah left. If we lost one more immunity, if they decided to throw it, it was my ass that was gone. I fought so hard in a couple of those challenges. The block stacking challenge, I tried so hard to stay calm, but I was shitting myself that whole challenge because they could have thrown it and it would have been me. The treading water challenge, which was right after that, I treaded water for 2 minutes this summer, practicing for this. 2 minutes. I don't know how long that challenge took, but I carried a 5-pound weight trying to give Meredith a break. I was in there for an hour and a half, just chilling. But I worked my ass off to stay alive in this game. I really did. The individual challenges, I could have been a target at either of the 2 that I won, especially the foothold challenge, which was awful, but I knew that I needed it. I knew James was coming after me. I knew that he wanted me out of this game. And I'm also very fucking happy that I pulled off that fire challenge. And I'm really glad Meredith was beside me.
And then just one more thing. James, you talked about how you did play such a social game and you formed all these relationships with different people and that a lot of it was very real and very meaningful. I was with you from day one. I only had 1 night away from you. What's my daughter's name?
Don't remember.
My question's for James. A lot of the jury has felt a negative reaction to some of your behavior. So I want to give you the opportunity to explain yourself as to how that affected your game and why you should still win.
To be quite honest with you, I'm not sure what behavior that we're referencing. Because any time that I was a little bit chaotic, my ass was on the line. When the split vote was going to happen between Lena and Ryan, Angela's telling me that Amanda's coming after me. So I felt like I needed to shift target and focus and keep it on Lena and Ryan.
Technically, you told me that Ryan was coming after you.
I did, but you told me that Amanda was coming after me.
No, I went to Amanda, and Amanda paused, and I was like,
So are you saying that you never told me that Amanda was coming after me? And
I never
just
told you
came
Amanda
up-
was coming after you.
That's a lie. That's an absolute
I was.
lie because I never would have
But she never told me that.
never
Like,
would've-
I didn't know that.
You came up to me directly and said, Amanda wants to get you out. That is exactly why I wanted to turn
Okay,
on.
I didn't know Amanda wanted to get you out. I just said she paused. I said, who are you voting for? And she said, Ryan. I was like, that was a long time.
Okay, at the end of the day, I feel like I did everything that I could playing from the bottom in the majority as one of the biggest threats coming from Original Bazaar. If I was a little bit chaotic or if I was a little bit aggressive in my final in tribal councils, it was just to keep the target off of me. It was just to shift the target to other people. It was just strategies that I felt that I had to employ when my ass was on the line. I feel like after those things all happened, I went up to people and I let people know, none of this is ever personal. No, I think you're an amazing person. When you watch my voting confessionals, each one I'm like, I think you're a beautiful person, but you're coming after me, so I have to vote for you. Nothing was like in a negative, aggressive. I never insulted anyone. I never openly yelled at anyone. I never personally attacked anyone. Everything was literally just me trying to fight for survival because I felt like the biggest target in the majority.
Thank you.
I want to come over here. I would like to know what the most difficult move you made in this game was, why you thought you had to make it, and how you went about manipulating everybody else to make sure that you got the outcome you wanted. And I've had Belize talk with Angela, so can we start on the left and just move down?
Can you re-ask me? Sorry.
Yeah,
that
what
was a lot.
what was the most difficult move that you made? Why did you have to make it, and how did you go about manipulating everybody and making sure that you got the outcome you wanted?
Honestly, I feel like a large part of this game, which I feel like differs from a lot of other games, is I felt like for the most part, with a lot of the jury members, it was a huge consensus of who was a big threat, why they were a big threat, and what had to happen next. There wasn't a lot of shifting in that. I will tell you that the hardest part in this game for me was voting out Lena. It's the only time I paused at the voting booth. I was real close to writing James's name down.
I wish you would have.
I know. Maybe me too. It was the only time I paused because I had very genuine connections to a lot of you up there. Lena said something to me after the foothold challenge that like just really struck. And for me, that was the hardest name that I wrote down for sure. But I didn't have to manipulate around it. To me, Lena, you are a way bigger threat than James would have been. I think that you're very likable, very personable. So I was more worried about her. I didn't really have to rally around people to make that happen, obviously, but I was the deciding vote. Somebody else might have been also, but I could have flipped that and voted James out of that game. So
It's really honestly news to me that Angela is claiming to be so much against me because the minute we voted Lena out, we got back to camp and did a happy dance because we couldn't
I'm not
believe
against
that
you.
we were. You're saying that you were coming after me. You're saying you were considering.
no,
to
if
vote
I
me
had
out
come
there.
after you, I would have written your name
You
down.
were just
and
saying you were
would've been voted out.
considering, though. You
Of
never.
course I was.
You never gave like.
Of course I
okay.
was.
It's just very confusing to me at this point in time because she was upset when I didn't take her at Final Four because we did have a Final Two from the beginning of this game.
I
But
wasn't
it's
upset, James. I
just
told you I
news
would
to
have
me.
done
I
the
got a
same
lot of my
thing.
information from Angela. My biggest, the hardest move for me in this game was voting out Danny. I feel like of any of the people that I connected with originally from the majority when I was in the minority, something about Danny I felt gravitated towards. I felt like they are a threat of a player, and knew that they are a threat of a player. And so when I initially connected with, my plan really was to be sitting at 5 or 4. But I let the fear of Danny being the bigger and better player creep in that they would have an idol to use at 5, and then they would win the fire making at 4, and there would be no chance to beat them. So that was the hardest move. I will admit I did gun for them at 7 and 6 because I felt like it was my only chance.
I wish I would have been able to answer this question first. Lena, that my answer is you as well. And I don't have a big, long, exaggerated answer to this. All I can do is tell you to watch my voting confessional.
Don't watch my vote out confessional.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a little fair.
All right. Congrats again, guys.
Thanks for ours.
Hi, finalists. First off, I want to say congratulations on making it to the end. You should all be proud of the games that you played. The jury came into this completely undecided. Nobody has their vote on lock. So I want your closing statements to really be concise, give us the bulleted list of things that you did, and this is your last opportunity to sway some of us because I don't think we have a set winner. And now I have a specific question for Jeff. Jeff, you and I spent this game together from the jump, and we had a lot of talks where we were sharing a lot of information, and I feel like at this point our games are a little intertwined, and I want you to speak to the jury the way that you spoke to me in our one-on-ones, and I want you to differentiate a move that you made in the game that was not my move. So please enlighten them to the person that I was talking with.
Voting you out before you could vote me out. Josh. And throwing G's name out. I was the first one to throw G's name out. I didn't know what your future plans were, but that was to help these two sit here. That's it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else?
Why did the three of you want to sit together?
I didn't want to sit with them. I wanted to sit with Jeff and Meredith. I felt like they had similar paths. I felt like Jeff's path to the end of this game went like this. I felt like Angela's went like this. And I feel like mine went, okay, gotta regroup this way. Okay, gotta regroup this way. Okay, gotta regroup this way. I felt like I would have had a better chance against Jeff and Meredith. And that is who I wanted to sit with again.
And I think the fact that my game did go like this, it only speaks to my social presence in the game. I felt safe because I was safe every single time. From the very beginning of the game up until now, my name was barely even an idea. And I've had 0 votes cast against me this entire time. I had an idol that I didn't even need to play. And I think that shows exactly how underappreciated my game is, if it's being thought of that way. And I hope it isn't. I think if it is looked at that I had an easy game, that's because I helped curate it to be that way. It's not like I sat around and did nothing. It's like I didn't talk to anybody at all. It wasn't like I didn't put any footwork into making sure that the moves that we all decided upon, I had a hand in making things go the way they were. I'm sorry. That hot dog and hamburger before this is causing the indigestion.
Anything else?
I think that's all our questions.
Okay, so let's get to the closing remarks. Jeff, you are first.
I think it's funny that the two of them can both admit to saying that they were going to gun for each other at certain points, and one of them actually did gun for the other just earlier today. And despite me actually saying their names throughout our time here, my intention was to never betray them, because I wasn't willing to put former friendships on the line for future friendships, because former friendships are still going to be future friendships. Like I said, when I spoke upon my previous experiences, I let those failures carry on into my actual life, to the tune of affecting me in my career, and to the tune of affecting me in my fatherhood. And it's led me with crippling self-doubt. And it's created anxiety in me in unimaginable ways. And I'm so grateful for this experience. And win or lose, playing with you all has helped lessen that inner self-saboteur. And I thank you so much. I'm not finished. No, thank you all. I'm finished.
Sometimes maybe I take the road less traveled, but I am somebody who has been on their own since they were 15 years old. And throughout my entire life, I have developed skills and characteristics like reading a room and being a chameleon and figuring out how to, lure people in and get people to like me and come off as endearing, but also at the same time be genuine. I very much so could have ended up not a great person, but I chose to be a good person. And so when I come into these games, I'm in this constant weighted balance between who I am outside of here, the guy that'll give everyone a shirt off his back, versus who I need to be in here, the guy that needs to vote everyone out in order to get to the end. I feel like if we're examining things from a game level, I am the most well-rounded player here. I won the necklace the most times, 3, including at most influential points of the game. The split tribes, the final immunity, and then the blindside Danny round. I socially was able to work my way into a group of people that I was never on a tribe with and get them to trust me and get them to want to work with me. I never received a vote in this game until the final 7, despite repeatedly getting the most damaging things in this game. Like I had the mask put on me, I was tied to Jeff, I got my vote blocked, I was targeted relentlessly. Everyone told me I was perceived as a threat. So I feel like strategically in every conversation that I was in, I set up the split vote on Lena and Ryan, which I know Amanda also did because Angela came to me afterward after we had already talked, so I know that you did that and I'm not trying to take that away from you. I was the one who woke up and wanted to lead the charge against Danny. So I feel like I outwitted, I outplayed, and I outlasted. But what's most important to me through this game and what I will take away from it is that I did not come here to be the golden boy, to play the best game, to play a perfect game. I came here to learn how to sit in my own vulnerabilities and dissect the anxiety that I have inside me, only to realize that, I am worthy. I am a good person. I am kind. I have a big heart. I love deeply. I'm emotional. I'm soft. But as soft as I am tough. I am a warrior. I am a survivor. And I came out here and I did everything that I could to show that to everybody. And I hope that when you go and cast your vote, you will think about those characteristics, because I think I would be a wonderful representation of this season. Thank you.
I think it was before James picked Jeff to bring to the final. He very casually dropped that I've won a game before. It was a very subtle tactic, and I don't think he meant it in any kind of way, but I really need all of you to know that because I have won another game doesn't diminish the fact that I feel like I have earned a spot here, and I really, really hope you consider me for your vote. He's played a lot of times, he hasn't won, but I don't think that necessarily means that the most deserving person is somebody that hasn't ever won a game before. I put my ass on the line repeatedly in this game. I've never had to fight from the bottom like I did here. I never did. And the only reason I made it that far is because I made connections. I made connections with Jeff, who, yes, I did know before coming into this game, but we have never talked. We have never had a conversation. I recognize his face from production from a game. That's it. Meredith carried me. Lena carried me. Danny carried me. Amanda carried me. You guys all carried me through certain points of this game, and I would not have been here without you guys. That being said, I did work my ass off. He won individual immunity 3 times. I did win twice, and those were very, very important to me. That fire making challenge, that is the most proud I will ever be of myself, I think, for the rest of my life. I walked in knowing that I was going to lose. I was going to lose. I just knew it. He knew that I was shit at making fire. That's why he put me in there, and he didn't want me to sit here beside him. I don't think I'm a shoo-in to win at all. I usually think I stand no chance. Jorge, you were a casualty of war. I had no input on your vote out at all. Josh, I think you and I could have worked together. It was you or me in that vote that you went out. Ryan, we never bullshitted each other. You never looked at me and said, hey, do you want to do this? I did the same to you because I respect you as a fucking player. I wasn't going to blow smoke up your ass. You never did it to me. Didn't vote for you. Amanda, you undersold yourself so much. You're like, I'm on the bottom. Girl, your stock was fucking skyrocketing. And I was like, we gotta dull the flame. Like, we gotta put her down. Because your story here, everybody would have voted for you. Danny, you're the most dangerous player in this entire game. That's why you're there. That's why you're an icon. We all know that. Lena, seriously, though. Lena, you're the most charming person I have ever met. And you've said words to me that I didn't know that I needed to hear when I heard them. And Meredith, not gonna lie, it took a while for this relationship to grow, I feel. You're a very hardened person. I am as well, and I don't let people in easily. But the last 24 hours for me have been worldly defining. And I don't care how you vote. I think Jeff is super deserving. I think James played his ass off. But I do appreciate every single one of you, and that's why.
Okay. And with that, it is now time for our jury to vote. It is their ultimate decision on who wins this game. The person you vote for is who you want to win. So we're going to start with Jorge. Yes, we're going up to the voting booth. these votes right now.
Oh.
She's gonna hop on a jet ski and
Bring in the helicopter.
Jeff Probst. The UFO.
We're going to
Bring in the
New York.
UFO.
It's Jeff Probst.
So we will resume at the reunion, but very nice tribal council. I am so looking forward to seeing what these votes are. Please do not disclose your votes. We're going to keep it a secret until the reveal. And these three can shower for the first time. Get in your reunion clothes. And congratulations very much, everyone.
Truthfully, any one of you could have won.
I'll see you in New York.
It was not an easy decision.
So we all hug now.
Yes.
should we all go Jerry on 3?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, our mother's coming out.
Can I just take my drink there for now? I don't want to.
Can we talk to the pre-jury?